Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Another beautiful day here in the state of Kansas. So today's video, I want to talk about self-reliance a little bit, self-sufficiency. During this pandemic, I have started to notice people who are wanting to wake up more. They're wanting to become more self-reliant and self-sufficient, and they want to provide for themselves but get away from the possibility of the government supplying for themselves, right? They want to learn new skills. They want to garden. They want to bake bread. They want to sew stuff all of a sudden. But it took a crisis for these people to wake up, to learn these skills that were once long lost. Now, growing a garden is something that I've been doing for many, many years. I grew up with my grandfather growing a garden. I grew up in the garden. Canning, I didn't do a whole lot, but having a garden was extremely important to him, so we had a garden. I want to be as self-sufficient and cut off from society as I can, in the sense of providing for myself and my family food. And knowing how to grow your own food is extremely important, because the only thing they can't take from you is knowledge. They can take everything else. They can take your life, but you still have your knowledge, right? Of course, not if you're dead, but... So where am I going with this? Well, there's a whole kind of a little snowball thing here. I've seen reports, and they're mixed reports, of several states' governors calling for regulations as to what is essential versus not. And I've seen a couple of states that the garden section, lawn and garden, in like Walmart or Home Depot or Lowe's and that kind of stuff, is not essential. Seeds for plants, apparently not essential in some places. But being able to grow your own food and not being reliant on a government is extremely important. So with that, you guys know that we're building a new home. We have 160 acres. Collectively, we each own 80 acres. On that 160 acres, we have, I think we've counted 12 trees. 12 trees is not enough to provide for yourself or the wildlife, right? So I've been collecting trees on sale for the last year to be put on this property. And this weekend I went out there and I planted, I think I counted 15 of those trees. I have another 20 trees from the Arbor Day Foundation that I have to get in some pots and watered, because those roots need to become established very soon. What I have been thinking about is, how do I provide for my family on my new property in the future? So I want a whole grove of different trees. I want a grove of different bushes. I want, raspberries, blackberries, blueberries, grapes. I want strawberries. I want all kinds of stuff that is traditional in a garden, but I want it in the sense of a grand scheme. I want it large. I want to be able to provide for myself and for the wildlife. Minus the deer, because they'll just root around and destroy stuff. And we have tons of deer. So I was out there, I was thinking, how do I want to plant my gardens? How do I want to plant my trees? And I'm thinking, a row of pecan trees, a row of walnut trees and oak trees. Some, nice shade trees would be great, especially around the house, but just in general, nice shade trees so you can go put your hammock up and have fun in 10, 20 years. I want conifers. I want trees that will help block the wind, because there's absolutely no windbreak, so I have to plant windbreaks soon. And I was thinking, well, I'll just go back to my local nursery and I'll see what they have. And there is a tree farm not too far from here, but the nursery has a good selection of trees. So I went to the nursery this morning and I was looking at their trees, and I was talking to the owner, and he said he's worried. Now, I've talked to this guy before, so I know him. He knows me, and this is where I usually buy my vegetables at. And I'm not doing a garden this year because I won't have time to tend to it after I move. and sell the house. I don't want to put it on a new owner. So I was talking to him, and he said he's worried because his supplier, his plant supplier, is short. He doesn't have the plants to provide starts for people. And I'm talking about, he has tomato plants. He has like 2 varieties of, I think they were Big Boys and maybe Roma tomatoes, but there was no other major tomato plants there. But he had nothing for vegetables. And he said that his supplier called him after he made an order 2.5 weeks ago, and he said, "Hey, we don't have plants for your order." And he's very concerned because people need to grow their own food, right? And now we're in the middle of, a month and a half, 2 months ago, we didn't know that we weren't going to be able to grow our own plants. So people weren't preparing for that. Yeah, you can go throw some seeds in the ground, but a plant start that was started in a greenhouse will actually go a lot further, a lot faster. And so he can't get zucchini, can't get yellow squash, can't get butternut squash, acorn squash, cucumbers, which are extremely popular in gardens, obviously. But there's a lot of plants that he can't get because this shutdown has affected those plants. Now, you would think that's an essential business, but if those plants weren't being tended to for a short amount of time, or whatever the supply or the break in the chain was, it affected something down the line, downstream, and now it's affecting the end consumer who can't go purchase those plants from a store to put in their garden to provide food for their friends and family and themselves. So having that skill to be able to plant seeds and to grow a plant from a start, from a very small part of their life, is extremely important. But so many people have lost skills over the last 50, 60 years. There's so many, I see memes all the time now where they're talking about, why are you making fun of those who were in a dust bowl in the Great Depression? A lot of those people learned life skills and they passed them on, but they were quickly forgotten because we became so industrialized and so reliant on a system that would never fail, right? Well, now we're getting stimulus checks from the government to help us live because money from the government that is not existent on a normal day is the way to stimulate the economy. Yeah, it'll probably help some people who are on unemployment and they have bills to pay, but there's a lot of people out there who, not saying they don't need the money, but they are expecting it now that the government is saying, hey, we're going to give you this money. And had people, not become so reliant on a government or a society, civilization to provide for them, maybe they wouldn't have got stuck in this spot to begin with. And I know it's tough. It's tough times. 1 month of that's really hurting the economy, and that's what I'm scared about. Is not just your everyday people who work at McDonald's, but the people who own small businesses. And I'm not taking that McDonald's comment out and just singling them out. I'm saying that yes, those people may be laid off. But the employers are the people who you should be worried about, the business owners. Because if one business fails, it's going to be the next business that fails. And it's not a failure on their part. It's because those businesses need to be able to make money. That's why they're in business. Now, those businesses may not be making money, but they need to be able to be open to provide their service for the people to consume whatever they sell. I don't know. It's strange times, guys. Self-reliance, self-sufficiency is extremely important. And I really hope that this little 30-day trial of communism, of democratic socialism, I hope it it's a wake-up call. I hope it's a wake-up call for a lot of people. And I'm fearing that a lot of people will come out of this wishing they would have got more money from the government. But I don't want more money from the government. I just want the government to get out of my business and to allow society to open up. Because it needs to open up. And I know that there's two sides of this coin. I work in healthcare. I know we can't be too stupid about it, but we can't be naive about it either. We can't say that we're in the midst of a pandemic, so we have to keep it closed, because people aren't gonna, their livelihoods are extremely important. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize there's more than one way to look at this whole pandemic. And self-reliance and self-sufficiency is number one way right now. You can see it all over the place. Anyways, keep calm and carry on, guys. Have a good day. Go out and get some exercise and wash your damn hands. See you later.